Hi, people, your boy, man, Mike here. Quick, here we go with this shit again. But this is your boy, man, Mike, coming at you guys with yet another Atlanta Falcons video. Sorry for the slight delay. I want to talk about an issue at hand that I feel personally that the Atlanta Falcons could quite possibly, find a way to make this team better, to make this situation with the quarterback that much better. And I think obviously when you have Michael Penix Jr., a young quarterback, obviously there's going to be ups, there's going to be some downs. But if Michael Penix is the guy that we really hope and feel that he is, I think one of the situations with this Atlanta Falcon that has to get rectified, I think it has to have, you have to resolve this issue quickly. And I mean quickly. There's no doubt about it in my mind that this situation with Kirk Cousins has to be resolved. And to be honest, man, I'm just gonna say this. It has to start with Kirk Cousins. I think our season in itself starts on Kirk Cousins. I think our journey to not only the playoffs but to the season in itself, it begins with Kirk Cousins. And I think if Kirk Cousins decide he want to be a good human being instead of it being a jackass, I think he can not only do himself a favor, but the rest of his career. But like when you got a guy that's only so focused on himself, like Kirk Cousins is, a guy that threw for 3,500 yards, 3,500 yards. Falcons passing game for the most part was a top tier and a top team in passing yards. So the guy and this Atlanta Falcons team obviously had the weapons: Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. The Falcons have one of the best offensive lines in the game. So you just look at that in itself. I think Kirk Cousins, if he decides that he wants to be a good teammate, if he just want to be a veteran and understand the fact that chances are that he would never see another starting job for the money that he's looking for. Now, there's always a case for a team to come out, and we've seen teams like Cleveland that they just need a quarterback, and they willing to do anything and everything to get a quarterback. And I'm talking about a quarterback that may have put up some numbers, but like, that there could be a team out there. A lot of people are probably pointing the finger right now with the Steelers, trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. So there's always a chance that a team that look at the Atlanta Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins as an opportunity to put up some good numbers, to put up a fourth effort where he can lead them, possibly to the playoffs or whatnot. But until that changes, until Kirk Cousins look at himself and say, all right, bro, chances are I'm not going to get the contract that I'm looking for, because this is what this is all about. I don't think Kirk Cousins even care. I really don't. I don't think he cares about football right now. I think he's trying to find his way to get out of Atlanta so he can get another contract. He's looking for another $100 million deals. He's looking to look at another organization so he can get another 30, 40 plus $1 million for him. I don't think that's around. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest, looking at the team and, but yeah, it would not only help the Atlanta Falcons, but it would help a lot of teams, to be honest. If Kirk Cousins just decided he wanted to work with it. But when you have a guy like Kirk Cousins that has a no trade clause, these guys get drunk with power. And I think a lot of these players, I think a lot of these quarterbacks, for example, guys like Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is another one of those guys for me personally. I personally don't see how and why this guy's getting paid 20, 40 million, $40, $50 million a year to essentially be a ball distributor, a game manager. And like I said, nothing wrong with being a game manager, but if I'm paying that type of money, Mucho, what's going on? But if I'm paying a guy $50 million, man, if I'm paying a guy $50 million, this dude got to be special. And I think at this point in time, I think the NFL realizes that maybe it's not a good job. Maybe it's not a good thing to continuously pay these quarterbacks $50 million and not be able to put forth, a good effort, to be honest. So, like I said, at the end of the day, man, I understand that the market is the market, but at some point you got to stop allowing these quarterbacks to get paid so much money to do the bare minimum. I'm not paying a quarterback $50 million so he can be a game manager. This dude better be able to pass for 100 yards, 150 yards in a quarter, okay? And I mean immediately. He had to be able to put forth a nice effort. He would have to lead. He would have to show his dominance in the passing game. He would have to show his dominance not only as a leader, but on the field. I'm not paying these guys that. Guys like Trevor Lawrence getting paid $50 million. We got guys like that who've never even pushed the boundaries of a fucking playoff game, but we paying these guys $50 million. It's just absolutely pathetic. So I think at the end of the day, if the Atlanta Falcons are going to be anything, it starts with Kirk Cousins. If the Atlanta Falcons are going to be anything, I think it starts with Kirk Cousins. Again, Kirk Cousins has to wake up. He has to be honest with himself. And like I said, man, y'all throw those comments in there right now. I know y'all probably got some questions right now from not either last night, but it starts with Kirk Cousins. All this starts with Kirk Cousins. The Falcons cannot consistently and continuously hold this guy, trying to figure out if he's for the team. Why is he still here? Is he going to be a mentor to a guy like Michael Penix? And like I said, Penix is that guy. Penix is that guy. And I personally do not want a guy like Kirk Cousins standing around because he's a veteran and we pay him $100 million. We got to get rid of this guy. We got to at least, if Raheem is such a player's coach, he got to be able to sit Kirk down. He got to be able to sit Kirk down and tell this dude, look, you here. You're an Atlanta Falcon right now. You are an Atlanta Falcon right now. And until we able to find the right deal for you, bring your ass to OTAs, bring your ass to training camp, and dispel all the bullshit that you said earlier. Because, like I said, we still don't know what's the truth behind a lot of this shit. We don't know what's the truth behind this. We got Terry Fontenot said that, the trainer said he wasn't hurt. We put him on the injured list and took him off because the trainer said he was fine. And then a couple of months later, when Kirk Cousins, wants a new contract and he wants out, he goes in an interview and says that the Atlanta Falcons, that he said he was hurt the whole time. And he got hurt at week 8. Raheem Morris said he was fine. They took him off. And it was just some injury protocol. It was protocol type of stuff. So, like I said, at this time, man, Kurt just got to wake up. Kurt has to wake up. And like I said, if the Atlanta Falcons are going to be anything this year, I think nothing gets resolved. And I think nothing gets resolved and anything that the Atlanta Falcons do at this point, man, the Atlanta Falcons can help not only the defensive side of the ball, but they can help the offensive side of the ball if Kurt just decide to be a good teammate Because chances are, again, with a lot of these quarterbacks, we got the Giants. What you got Russell Wilson, and you have Jameis Winston on the same freaking team. We got both of those guys on the same freaking team, and Kirk Cousins is trying to play like he has all of the cards. You got two guys that have passed for over 4,000 yards in their career, and both of those guys are making pretty much crumbs. And Kirk Cousins still in his head believes that he can get another contract. You got to be real, bro. It's like it's to the point where it's comical looking at Kirk Cousins trying to play hardball, not showing up to OTAs, don't really know anything what the hell's going on with him. It's comical and it's sad. It's quite frankly, it's fucking sad to see Kirk Cousins do all this shit. And Rich, and like I said, man, all you got to do is just go back and look at this dude picking himself up off the ground. Like look at Kirk Cousins getting up off the ground. We knew that dude. Something wasn't right. And this is why I say Kirk just got to be real with himself. Like chances are it's over for you, boy. Chances are for Kirk Cousins, it's over. It's over for you. You will never be the same guy. You will never be that. And I think that's the thing with him. A lot of people just looking at Kirk Cousins looking at himself as though he's still the Kirk Cousins of 2, 3, 4 years ago. You're not. And I think we already see that. And I think we already see that with Kirk Cousins. He's not the same guy, but in his head, because he got away with the Atlanta Falcons. He got away with the Atlanta Falcons, and with him, you know, the Atlanta Falcons paying him what, $100 million. He feels like he can just do whatever he wants to at this point. He feels like he can do whatever he wants to at this point. Why? Because he's gotten away. He got away with the incident with the Vikings. He got over on the Vikings. The Vikings end up giving him another. They let him go. They end up getting Sam Darnold. But him getting another contract and in his mind, giving the Vikings a finger, come to Atlanta, getting $100 million, he feel like he can just screw anybody and everybody over. So the mindset with Kirk Cousins right now is, like I said, he just got to be real with himself. Chances are your shit is over. Your career is over. So the best thing to do for Kirk Cousins at this point is to just play ball. Play ball. Ain't nothing wrong with playing ball. We saw a guy like Peyton Manning go from one of the best quarterbacks in a year, and then the next year, because he got a neck injury, he's just not the same. And we talk about a dramatic drop-off. You talking about a dramatic drop-off with a guy like Peyton Manning. But he was real with himself. But instead of a guy like Kirk Cousins understanding, bro, you're not the same. You got a torn Achilles. You claim you had an elbow and a shoulder issue, and you're rehabbing. Like, that's the crazy part. You said you were rehabbing, Kirk. You said you were rehabbing. Why would teams trade for a guy that's rehabbing? Why would a guy trade for a guy like Kirk Cousins if he said, and like I said, he screwed himself on this. He screwed himself. All he had to do was stop trying to get back at the Atlanta Falcons for drafting Michael Penix. And he, like I said, he screwed himself. Matt Ryan, look, and I'm glad, Rich, I'm glad you said that, because Matt Ryan did the exact same thing. Matt Ryan did the exact same thing. Why do you think he retired in a year? He was real with himself. He was done mentally. He was done physically. He could not hold up. And I think this is the thing with Kirk Cousins. He has to be real. Your time in the NFL could quite possibly be done, but you got to be real with yourself. And now he's sitting at home trying to rehab his shoulder, rehab his elbow, trying to get the Atlanta Falcons to cut him, and the Falcons trying to get another team to take on his salary. It's not the fact that I don't think he'll be a quality quarterback, but at this point in time, Kirk just got to be real about where he is in his career. And do the Atlanta Falcons a favor and just be the quality backup. Give some of that money back to the Atlanta Falcons. Be real with them. Help this Atlanta Falcons pick up more talent. Matthew Judon. Bring him back so he can be another one of those pieces on the edge to help on the Ebiketie, a young Walker, a young Pierce, a young Trice. Help all these guys. Help develop these guys. Have one of the deeper defensive line edges in the NFL. Kirk can do this. Kirk can help bring in another DB, a veteran DB in Jalen Ramsey, by giving the Atlanta Falcons some money back and restructuring the deal so that he can do this. He can do this, and he might do that. But at the same time, like I said, from what we've seen, no contact, no conversation, no nothing about Kirk. Nobody know where he is and what he's doing right now. And I think, like I said, Eric Parker, what's good, pimp? He said Kirk Cousins is delusional. And I think that's the thing, bro. At some point in time, look, I knew I had turned what? I think it was like 32. Trying to play basketball, bro. My knee buckled one time, and I was like, "Yeah, I know my knee. I knew I was done. I knew I was done. I could not keep playing basketball the way I was playing pickup basketball at the gym the way I was doing. I was done. Why? My knees told me that." And sometimes at some point in time, you just got to be real with yourself. You just got to be real with yourself as a player and to realize. And the thing is, why I'm really upset with Kirk Cousins is that you're not a Hall of Famer. You're not a Hall of Famer. Why are you doing this? You're not going into the Hall of Fame. You don't have the credentials to even get there. So what's the point of you trying to hold this power over your head or hold the organization hostage for what? You're Kirk Cousins. You're a middle of the pack quarterback. You will never sniff the days of a Hall of Fame. Ever. It's not happening. Yeah, you gotta you tell them because the Atlanta Falcons drafted a guy like Michael Penix. You got your money. The Atlanta Falcons lived. They pretty much held to their obligation. They held to their promise. They gave you your money. This is a quarterback. Look, at the end of the day, man, I think one of the things that really pissed me off, or one of, is this, bruh, you came in with a torn Achilles. You came in with a torn Achilles, healing from a torn Achilles. You came in as a damaged product. And you left as a damaged product. The Falcons benched you because you was a damaged product and you could not stay healthy. And you were hurt. And the thing is, we had Raheem saying week after week after week, Kurt is healthy, Kurt is healthy, Kurt is healthy, Kurt is healthy, Kurt is healthy. And you got Terry Fontenot saying the opposite. Well, we did have him on the injury list, and then for whatever reason, Raheem decides to take him off. The training camp says he was healthy. And then we got Kirk Cousins months later talking about he was hurt. So this is the thing where reality, not only for the organization, I think the Falcons have, at the end of the day, I think they're right. I will hold on to him because if I let him go, guess what he's going to do? He's going to accrue a lot of dead cap. So I'm keeping him for this year. Next year, once that guaranteed money is done, I don't have to pay anything. I'm good. We can decide to cut him after this season. And everything will hold up. But like I said, all of this, it come down to Kirk Cousins. He needs to do the right thing, because if he's the Christian that everybody says he is, the way he says he is, money shouldn't be a focus. A power over the organization should be a focus. If you say you the man that you say you are and everybody claims that you are, then you need to do the right thing for the team. And right now the team is desiring to get to the playoffs, and you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. But you need to help this Atlanta Falcons team bring in more talent. And in order to do that, you just got to make a deal with yourself. You got to make a deal with the Atlanta Falcons. You got to be real with yourself. I know it's built. LT, I know it's built off money. As long as he got money, he gonna be praising God and two-stepping. He gonna be two-stepping in the pews. He gonna be two-stepping and praying to God when he get that paycheck. That's what he paying. That's what he praying to God for another paycheck. Hallelujah, Jesus. I got another $100 million contract. Hell, hallelujah, Jesus. I got another $50 million contract. Hallelujah, Jesus. That's what he paying to. That man is not, this dude is not thinking about no damn winning. He's not thinking about winning. He's thinking about getting what he can get as soon as possible and as much as possible. This dude has made more money, salary wise, guaranteed money wise, than one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, and Tom Brady. Think about that. You don't think this guy has an ego? You don't think this guy is trying to hold the Atlanta Falcons hostage? Of course he is. This dude head as big as my goddamn, is about as big as goddamn Homer Simpson's head. Okay? That boy head is about as big as Caillou's head is. And Eric, it says, like, if you hurt, it's just over. And like I said, the thing is, man, I don't believe Kirk can't play solid games, but I think for the most part, the days of expecting Kirk Cousins to be healthy 17 games out of a year is insane. That's insane. I don't know why why would he even think that at this point in time? With a torn Achilles, you rehabbing your shoulder, because that's what you said. You said he's going to get into off season and pull what you pulled. You said you was getting, well, I was hurt, and I'm gonna get in the off season. I'm a rehab. You said you was hurt. So if you got an Achilles issue, and everybody saw that, the athleticism that you lacked from the beginning, the shit is much worse now. So if you got the shoulder, Achilles issue, what makes you think that a team is going to give you $50 million? Now, look, again, there's always suckers out there. There's always a team that will suck and do some dumb shit. I think we all see Cleveland, but I don't know how many damn quarterbacks they got about 15 goddamn quarterbacks on roster. So there's always a team that's willing to do that. But like I said, at the end of the day, Kirk just got to be real with himself. And I think he just, at this point in time, Kirk just being stupid. Christy, how are you doing? How are you doing? And Cartier Pussy Bear is in here, y'all. Just go back to your channel. Go back to your little fake ass pirate gang. All right, go back over there with your fake ass pirate gang and have fun over there. We ain't got time for this right now. Chrissy says she trying to find time to sneak off work. But like I said, man, y'all got some questions. I'll answer some questions. He had a chance to go to Cleveland and Pittsburgh if he would have just figured out a deal with the Atlanta Falcons and waived the no trade clause. That Rich, that's it. This is why I say he can help the Atlanta Falcons and himself in this situation if he just be a good person. Stop trying to use every ounce of your power. Eventually people just gonna get tired of this shit. They got tired of it with Tom Brady in New England. They got tired of him throwing his power. The owner said, all right, Tom, just go. Bye. People get tired of you throwing power in their face. Sometimes you just got to be a good person and just say, look, bro, it's just not working out here. And until we get out of this situation, let's just make the most of the best out of this situation. And both of us can get what we can get. But until then, I'm going to be a good teammate. I'm going to be a good player. I'm going to be a good friend. Kirk Cousins ain't doing that. You go to the Atlanta Falcons owner, complain and whine to him, say, Arthur, I appreciate everything you've done, but I just don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. So fucking what? We paid you. Either be a good teammate or help the Atlanta Falcons waive that fucking no trade clause. Trying to use his power against the Atlanta Falcons. He tried to use his power against the Vikings, and both of that shit, it backfired on him. Both of them. It backfired on him twice. You can get away with that one, maybe two times, but when you start feeling yourself, this is what happens when players start feeling themselves. This is what happens when players start feeling themselves. They screw themselves. AB, Stephon Diggs, all these guys. God, my arms hurting so bad, y'all. Been down working out. Good God almighty. My ass is sore as hell. But yeah, man. All this is on Kirk. Everything we seeing right now is Kirk's. And one thing that I pride myself on being in the 40 club is that you gotta stay up on what's new. You gotta stay up on what's trending. You gotta check the temperature. Who everyone likes. What everyone's like. Because times change. Shit, don't nobody watch cable TV like that no more. People on YouTube, people on social media. People are watching Netflix. People are watching, HBO Max. This is where people are. And I think Kirk Cousins is doing a terrible job of himself. Not understanding the landscape of what's sports, but where the NFL is right now. Right now, the value of a quarterback that's going to be helpful to the organization is at a premium. A lot of teams can't afford to pay $50 million for a team. So we need quarterbacks and we need players to be able to say, all right, bro, I know I'm worth $50 million as a quarterback, but just give me 35 years, $35 million for 3, 4, 5 years in a row. And then we got something. Give me 3 years of $35 million. Get the rest of the defense so we can build a defense and we can make the playoffs. Instead of saying, no, I want all my money. This is what guys like Trey Henderson, they need to understand. You're 30 years old. Chances are they're going to get rid of you in a couple of years anyway. They already got Shamar Stewart right there. What more do you need, bro? What more do you need? Yeah, we understand that you led the league in sacks and all that type of stuff. You're an amazing defensive end. But let's keep it real. You 30 years old. Why would they pay you $30 million for the next 3 years when you got young talent like Jamar Chase, a quarterback like Joe Burrows? Why would they pay you $30 million? They can get younger, get damn near 3-4 people to do the same things for less than what they paying you. Just make a deal, bro. It's not always about getting maximizing your payday. At the end of the day, bro, $20 million period from a player is good. $20 million is good. These players acting like $20 million is nothing. And that's usually because y'all trying to have homes in the Hamptons and move to LA and move to New York in these expensive ass homes instead of doing what's right, doing what's necessary. Hell, do what Boosie did. Get him some fucking land, build a compound, and you can have about 4 houses on that. You got your mama, you got your dad, your cousin, and everybody else living on that compound. For less than $5 million. For less than $5 million, you can do all that shit. How do I know? I used to work for a guy that was an architect. So I know you can do this under $5 million. Baker Mayfield would be picking himself up off the ground. And like I said, man, NFC South, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of look, I'm just going to be real. A lot of people just think, all right, it's just going to be the Bucs and it's going to be the Falcons. But I think if you look at and be real, and it's being real about it, let's say the Carolina Panthers end up having a much better offense, that Bryce Young is a much better team, a much better quarterback, and they end up being a much better team overall. I think offensively that could be a scary team with the Panthers, but I just don't think defensively with Derrick Brown coming back from an injury himself, I don't think they have enough defensively to be a significant scare for the Bucs, Falcons, or the Saints. I just don't think defensively they have enough. The corners, their secondary isn't great. You got Derrick Brown. They got a few pieces on the defense side of the ball. I don't think so. I personally believe that they may either the Saints or the Panthers going to be in last place. And I think for the most part, you just look up where the Bucs are and the Falcons are. If they, obviously the Bucs end up getting a wide receiver, they still got Mike Evans, they still got Baker Mayfield. Their offensive line, I don't think the Bucs offensive line is great. They still got a decent running game and running backs. I think everything is predicated, if you look at the Atlanta Falcons, everything is predicated on what the Atlanta Falcons can get out of Michael Penix. Now, if Michael Penix end up coming out and being the quarterback that I personally think he is, if he can average about 230, 250 yards per game, this is easily an Atlanta Falcons. I think this is easily the Atlanta Falcons offense. I think this is easy their division to win. If they can get Michael Penix to average between 230, 250 yards per game, I think the Falcons do their job because you got Bijan Robinson, a healthy Bijan Robinson, a healthy Tyler Algier, a healthy offensive line. I think the Falcons with Michael Penix can do so much more thing. They can spread them out. That's not something, and that right there was another thing too about Kirk Cousins that I don't know a lot of people talked about. But due to not only his lack of athleticism, but Kirk Cousins was a quarterback. He was a traditional quarterback that couldn't play a lot out of the shotgun. He didn't play a lot of the shotgun like that. He didn't play a lot of full wides and stuff like that. He one of the guy that he plays better off of play action. And now you got a quarterback like Michael Penix that can play under center and he can play out of the shotgun. And he can spread it out. So this Atlanta Falcons team, you're not going to see as much pistol. You're still going to see some pistol because obviously he did that in college. But Kirk Cousins is one of those guys. He played better with play action. So you got to have a running game to go with Kirk Cousins. But the thing is with Michael Penix, you don't necessarily need a running game out of him to be successful. You don't really need a great running game for him to be a valuable asset. And I think that's the thing with Kirk Cousins that a lot of people are not looking at. You got to have an established offensive line with Kirk Cousins. You got to have an established running game with Kirk Cousins because he plays better when he's play action. So the thing with Michael Penix, you got all of that. He can play any style and any formation. He's really good at that. The versatility that the Atlanta Falcons have. So you look at the Bucs, defensively, I think they're going to be a formidable team defensively, like they always have on the Todd Bowles. So I don't think that'll change too much with them. The secondary, strong secondary safeties. They need a little bit more help. I think they did get the help with their corners and whatnot. So I think for the most part, if the Atlanta Falcons can average, 240, 250 yards per game with Michael Penix, I think this easily the Atlanta Falcons. When you have a Jalen Walker, James Pierce, Leonard Floyd, Braylon Trice coming back, Honor Ebiketie. Bro, that's a 5-man rotation right at the edge. And we know for the most part that the Bucs offensive line ain't great. It's not great. Pretty good, but not great. And we already know a guy like Leonard Floyd is going to get you 7 to 10 tacks almost every year. So it's going to be interesting to see with that. Why is this dude putting Kyle Pitts last days in Atlanta? Kyle Pitts OTB report just now. Bro, Kyle Pitts has been on a fucking trading block for the last. Everybody been on a trading block. What the fuck is you talking about? Okay? Ain't no red alert. They ain't, look, that's Kyle Pitts been on the trading block. Okay? Kirk Cousins been on the trading block. Tyler Algier been on it. What you want me to say? Right now, Kyle Pitts is dealing with a foot injury. Kyle Pitts, it's been on every article. Kyle Pitts is on the trading block. We know that. Bruh. The Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Algier have been on the trading block all off season. Okay. All off season. This is no news to anybody that Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts has been on the trading block. And no, I'm not trading no Pitts for no Ramsey because you still got to look, y'all. Y'all gotta stop with these trade scenarios. The money has to match. Okay? The money has to match. We can't trade up guys straight up if the money not match. Okay? It can't happen. Right? Why would I want to trade an offensive weapon for a guy for Jalen Ramsey, to be honest? Because now you're gonna have to deal with the money that that you owe Jalen Ramsey. So guess what happens? Look at how much money that Jalen Ramsey is due. Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts has 1 year left on his contract. 1 year left on his contract. Darnell Mooney money has went up. Now he's making $16 million a year. Kyle Pitts has been on the trading block for the last year. Tyler Algier has been on the trading block for the last year or so. This is not anything new, y'all. Kirk Cousins on the trading block. Players being on the trading block always is the case. Even guys like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, teams are always calling teams to see, all right, what would you take? What would you take for a guy like Bijan Robinson? Everybody is always on the trading block. There's a misconception that it's only a couple guys that's on the trading block. Everybody's always on the trading block. Bucks, bruh, it isn't coming out today. I don't know if you slow or something, but this is not the first time Kyle Pitts has been on the trading block or allegedly been on the trading block. People write articles and stuff like this all the time. This has been happening for the last 2 years or so. This is not news, okay? This is not news. I've talked about this before. Kyle Pitts is going on his last year with the Atlanta Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons, like every organization, when you have a first-round pick, when you have a star player like a Tyler Algier that could potentially be a superstar, teams are going to call you for this. Teams are going to call you and see what you can get for. The Atlanta Falcons are doing good business by listening to offers. This happens to everyone. Kyle Pitts being on the trading block is no news. This is no news. If the Atlanta Falcons were to trade Kyle Pitts, again, it would have to be anywhere from a second to a fourth. But Kyle Pitts being on the trading block is nothing new. We've had quarterbacks on the trading block. We've had running backs on the trading block. This is nothing new. And this has been something that maybe because you're a Bucs fan and y'all probably got y'all head on the wall or something, but Kyle Pitts being on the trading block is not new, sir. But I truly appreciate your super chat. Truly appreciate it. But this is nothing new. Every Falcon fan have known for the last 2 years that Kyle Pitts has been on the trading block. I got you. I got you. But this is nothing new. Kyle Pitts being on the trading block is not new. Just go look up on Google Kyle Pitts trading rumors, and you will see for the last 2 years, year and a half or so, Kyle Pitts has been on the trading block. But at this point, you just got to be real. And Kyle Pitts, let's just say he is on the trading block. Why would a team give up a second? Why would a team give up a fourth for a guy that's potentially going to be free agent? He's in his 5th year. He doesn't have a 6th year. He doesn't have a 7th year. That's it. So the chances are for a team to give up a second and a third for Kyle Pitts are slim. Not to say it won't happen, but the chances are slim. Because what could happen is you trade Kyle Pitts for a second and he end up walking away from your organization. So the chances are organization not going to want to deal with that. The Falcons would have to create some sign and trade type of deal. Well, I trade for you. We negotiate an extension on your contract. But it would have to be a sign and trade. This is one of those situations where an organization like the Patriots or whoever the case may be, if they want a Kyle Pitts, if they're going to give the Falcons a second or third, they're going to have to talk to his representation or representatives and say, all right, we want you for the next 3 years or so. We're going to trade for you, but we're going to negotiate your contract. Now, if Kyle Pitts has great representation and he has great agents, he's going to tell his agent to say, hell no. Why? Because if you're Kyle Pitts or if you're anybody, you want to wait till the end of the year. You want to see who's going to be free agent before I decide to commit to a team. Unless you have a number that you're looking for as a receiver, as a tight end, Kyle Pitts is going to be saying himself, unless you can give me $20+ million a year to play tight end, then I'm going to wait until free agency. And free agency come, he'll end up going to the team. But this is if this is the case, Kyle Pitts he's not gonna say yes to an extension if he doesn't get the number that he's looking for. If his team is not getting the number that he's looking for. This happens all the time. People forget Penix went all the way to championship round without to get. I mean, the thing with Penix too. The thing with Penix is, man, like I said, he's been in all sorts of situations. I saw him get his behind whipped against Michigan. I mean, they punished him. They hit that dude all left and right in the first half of that game. They just kept hitting Penix. But I was impressed with Penix in that third, fourth quarter. Despite him getting hit like that, no running game. The offensive line was, shaky. Penix just kept getting up. Penix just kept going hard. He just kept getting up. He showed resilience. He showed that toughness. That's when he won me over, watching him. But Tyler Algier, Kyle Pitts, all those guys are already been on. All those guys have been on the trading block. And like I said, most of the players, and this is something that Terry Fontenot has talked about all the time. You always want to listen to every deal. Everybody. Matt Ryan. People have called for Matt Ryan. People have called for Julio. But if the deal doesn't make sense for the Atlanta Falcons, they're not going to do it anyway. If the deal doesn't make sense for the party, which is the player in this instance, well, they don't have to agree to it. Especially if you're going into your last year as a player and you looking for an extension. I don't have to sign with you. Now, I may have to go with your team because I was traded, but I don't have to sign the extension. And I think this is what George Pickens is doing right now. It's smart on his behalf. You go to Dallas, see what happens there, and you play well, you go in free agency, you get big money. Because the Steelers are not paying him. Y'all finally got a first real W on us in how many years? Last year. Here these coochie cutters. Boy, look, they got their panties all up in their asshole right now. Good God almighty. You lost, sir. Okay? You lost. What's wrong with getting swept? Y'all get to the playoffs and do absolutely nothing, and then y'all want to come in here. Y'all want to come in here talking all this Bucs life bullshit. Everybody wanted to make the playoffs, but you made the playoffs, and guess what? You took your ass right back home. So hip hooray for taking an extra step past the regular season. Hip who fucking ray. Let's give them a motherfucking cookie for taking 2 more steps than the Falcons. Let's give them a motherfucking cookie for up here buying a quarterback and Tom Brady, building an extra set of what? Seats in the organization so y'all can accommodate his fans. They didn't even become Bucs fans because of y'all. They become Bucs fans because of Tom Brady. And y'all some bitches built a whole bunch of seats for Tom Brady fans. So y'all had y'all quote-unquote fans there, and you had Tom Brady fans there. But you want to sit up here and talk this shit about the Atlanta Falcons finally, quote-unquote, getting wins over there. Man, we've been whooping y'all ass since existence. The whole fucking universe has been whooping y'all ass for existence. Y'all motherfucker win a fucking Super Bowl, okay? Past the Tony Dungy era. And now, all of a sudden, y'all back whipping out. Man, y'all need to sit y'all goofy ass down somewhere. And hear this punk talking about some damn 28-3. Motherfucker, look, 28-3, okay. But guess what? What organization has the worst start and the worst win percent, the worst start to a franchise in NFL history? Yeah, Bucs. Them motherfuckers lost like 30 games in a row. Want to sit up here and talk shit. Y'all lost 30 fucking games in a row. You're the worst organization in NFL history. But you want to sit up here and talk some mess. You don't get your little $5 fake ass down somewhere. Fake ass Pirates. Up here dressing like it's goddamn Halloween every damn day. Motherfucker, this ain't Halloween. Dressing up like fake ass parrots and pirate ships and shit. Okay? Motherfucker, this ain't Disney Channel. Motherfucker up here with a fake ass pirate outfit on. Pirate hats. Arr! Arr! We're better than you, Falcons. Arr! Get the fuck up out of here. Enjoy that 30-game losing streak. Some of bitches. Get the fuck out of here. Come out with that punk ass shit. Y'all got some motherfucking nerve with your 30-game losing streak. Worse than NFL history. Ain't no team been as bad as y'all motherfuckers is. And you up here buying coochie. That's what y'all did. Y'all rented. Y'all rented a girlfriend. Y'all motherfuckers rented a girlfriend. These Bucs fans rented a goddamn girlfriend up here talking about, now I got a ring. Man, nigga, motherfucker, you rented that girlfriend. You rented Tom Brady. The fuck out of here. Got some goddamn nerve. That motherfucker ain't been back to Tampa since. Out here renting quarterbacks and shit. out here renting tight ends, thinking y'all goddamn rough and tough and bad. And where y'all at now? Right back to mediocrity, sitting right with the Atlanta Falcons. Done rented them a girlfriend, and now you sitting right back with the Atlanta Falcons with nothing. But y'all got some damn nerd to come in here talking about some 28-3 when y'all motherfucking lost 35, 50 games in a fucking row. Motherfucker. yeah, Jay. Lost 30 games and threw 30 picks, and y'all got some nerd to be coming up here trying to clown us for 28-3. Motherfucker out here renting girlfriends and renting quarterbacks talking about the Falcons. What, please? Yeah, everybody in the NFC South has been NFC champs. Give me something else. These weak ass come back talking about some 28-3. 28-3. 28-3. Yeah. Been telling the same joke like your old ass grandpa. Old ass grandma telling the same fucking 28-3 jokes. The fuck out of here with that clown ass shit. Y'all got some damn nerd to come in here and sit with us. Y'all motherfuckers trying to be like us. Y'all try to be like us so mad. Y'all thought y'all gonna get the Julio Jones. Julio Jones goddamn Julio Jones done terrorized. He terrorized y'all for fucking what? 8 years in a fucking row. Thinking y'all were gonna get the same Julio that we had in Atlanta. It didn't work out that way, did it? The fuck out of here. He ran a whole ass goddamn team. Ran a center ass team trying to act like they goddamn Super Bowl legends or something. Get the fuck out of here. That rent a center ass team. Everything they do is rent. They rented the damn court. They rented a coach after Tony Dungy. They ran Tony Dungy out. They rented Tom Brady. And now all of a sudden, y'all legendary, great NFL and NFC champions. And man, sit your goof ass down somewhere. Oh, they ain't got no channel. Ain't nobody willing. The only thing that I will say in Tampa Bay, they don't even have a top content creator. If y'all want to enjoy Bucks content, go to Locked On Bucks. We've done work with them. But ain't no damn, we don't look for Tampa Bay Buccaneers content creators that actually know what the fuck they talk about. It ain't none out there. We look for them all. Go to Locked On Bucks if you want real Bucks content. Rich, that's the problem. They want to be all rivals so bad. Nah, bro, that belongs to the Panthers and that belongs to the Saints. Y'all don't even matter. What would I trade Pitts for? Like I said, I'm looking for a third and a fourth. Because I think at some point in time, Michael Penix is going to want his own weapon. Not to say that Mooney may not be it, or they may have somebody on the roster, but it might be Nash, it might be Drake. But like at some point in time, I think he's going to want his weapon, and there's no guarantee that a Kyle Pitts is going to be his weapon. I'm hoping, but chances are it may not be. So I'm saying a second. Between a second and four, if you can get a second or four and trade Kyle Pitts away, because signing him is going to be a good $14 to $20 million to re-sign him to a decent contract, the Kyle Pitts. So, like I said, my options are open. I've always been open. But no, I don't think Kyle is going anywhere. I don't. It's actually cheaper at this point in time because he is a tight end. You can sign him to about a $12 to $15 million deal, which is pretty damn good for a tight end. Because obviously, even with that position, but what the Atlanta Falcons have offensively, I mean, Kyle, if he wants to be here, which I think he wants to be here, he'll take a team-friendly deal, much like Caleb McGarry. Caleb McGarry took a team-friendly deal. So it's a possibility that he would want to, just be in Atlanta if he wants to take a team-friendly deal. I don't think he'll be gone, but that's what I would give up for him. Yeah, they ain't got no real content creators. Okay? The heavy hitters, what we do each week, we bring y'all all of the top content creators. We do live shows with the top content creators. We reached out to them all, and they all garbage. The only one that wasn't garbage is Locked On Bucks, which we've had. Y'all trash, and you know it. Don't nobody want to cover no damn Bucks, them fake ass Pirates, and them $2 holes that y'all have at quarterback. Get the fuck up out of here. Nobody wants that. Y'all know damn well you got some great Saints content creators. You got some damn good Panthers content creators. You got some damn good Falcons content creators. But ain't nobody ever seen no damn Bucks content creators. Because ain't none. They don't exist. Told them motherfucker want to be Disney World. Y'all thought I was fucking joking. Go try to look for some Bucks content creator that's actually good. You're going to see Locked On Bucks and Locked On Bucks and Locked On Bucks. Got some damn nerve. I've done work with so many content creators, Panthers, Saints, Bucks, and I can't find no Bucks. I bet you can't either. I bet y'all can't either. Go look for it. Y'all think I'm joking. Go try to look for some Bucks content creators that's not just like that, not Locked On Bucks. What do Atlanta sports ever win? This motherfucker retarded, y'all. He said, what do Atlanta sports ever win? Hey, see, I told y'all, boy, they in Disney World. I'm going to Disneyland. They playing Pirates of the Caribbean with their dumb ass. This motherfucker said, what have Atlanta sports ever won? Let me say this. Georgia sports. The Atlanta Braves, did they win a championship? Yes. Did the Atlanta United win the championships? Yes. Did the Georgia Bulldogs win the championship? Yes. What do you mean? So we win, sir. Nobody wants the Falcon. That's why Pitt's been on the block. Man, you can't even put that. You didn't even believe that shit when you typed it. You didn't even believe that bullshit when you typed it. This is where you just trying to get back because you know you stupid. You just trying to say anything right now. Florida ain't been Florida since they done bought all them damn players from the Tim Tebow days. Florida State ain't been Florida State. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? Florida International? Get out of here. What are you talking about? Miami ain't been the same? Bro, please stop. Y'all, look, go out there and play goddamn R, okay? Go play Pirates of the Caribbean. Go play goddamn Grand Theft Auto or something. Y'all have better luck with that shit. I'll give you the Florida Panthers hockey. But get out of here with that nonsense. But y'all don't even claim. Look, most of y'all Florida people don't even claim the Florida Panthers. We're talking about in the last 10 years or so. You just got that this year. Georgia been winning for the last 10 years or so, bro. What are you talking about? Y'all just won that this year. Florida just won it this year. Just a few months ago. Stop up here trying to act like Florida worth shit, because y'all know y'all ain't shit. Y'all, the crazy part about it is now they done shifted to the whole championships. I thought we were just talking about football. But since y'all out here renting hoes and renting players, y'all want to act like y'all back again. This is not Slim Shady, and you are not the real Slim Shady. Boy, they look, they are wet, y'all. They are bleeding in these cups. They are mad. What y'all so mad for, bro? What are you mad? I mean, y'all mad? Tom Brady, y'all left. That's what you upset about? Are you mad? Why are y'all so angry? Y'all mad? We as Falcons fans, we don't care nothing about y'all. What are you so mad for? They ain't here. Then this motherfucker mad, y'all. I don't even think nobody said anything about no damn Bucks. I said in this chat, I said in this live that it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons and the Bucks. What are you so mad about? That the Atlanta Falcons and the Bucks are going to be battling out for first place. What are you so mad? Well, if you good, what the fuck are you over here for? Go do a live show of your own. Go spend times with Bucks, Sprays, and Rays, or whatever the fuck his name is. Go spend time with him. Why are y'all so mad, bro? No, we don't need no friendly debate. We good. We would much rather cuss each other out than talk to y'all. This motherfucker, they up here, they up here, but they in their feelings. They up here claiming Baker Mayfield, the Captain King. We talking about one of the guys that every time he get a chance, he throw interceptions in playoffs, throw y'all out of games. That motherfucker would throw for 500 yards and 10 interceptions. So let me ask this question, y'all, Bucks fans. How many games did y'all win against the Atlanta Falcons this year? Since we want to bring up all this other stuff, how many games did y'all win against the Atlanta Falcons this past season? Yeah. So if you don't win anything, then why are you talking? What are you talking for? It's not like Tom Brady's still here. So 0. 0 Miero. Y'all won 0. Yeah, you won again. How many games did you do? This is about the Atlanta Falcons and the Bucks. We lost the division because we lost other games. We didn't lose the division because we lost to y'all ass. We took care of you hoes. They They happy about winning by default, y'all. Y'all hear this? They happy they won the division by default. They won the division by default. They didn't take care of the Atlanta Falcons 2 times, and they holding to the fact that, yeah, we divisional champion, we NFC South champions. We didn't take care of we didn't take care of other teams, but we whipped y'all ass, and you happy that you got the championship because of that. What this goddamn y'all got this default ass NFC trophy, NFC South trophy, and you happy about that? Oh boy. And they bragging like they good or did something. They did beat us last year and think they like, yeah. This is the crazy part. Y'all won the division by default, and you bragging. Oh boy. It does matter. Did you whip our ass? How can you say you're better than the Falcons when you did not beat the Falcons? I don't see how that works. Somebody else whooped our ass, but you up here laughing like you whooped our ass. You don't see a problem with that? See, here you go. I knew I didn't even say it. I knew they was gonna bring it up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. And let me ask you something, because I know y'all not gonna be honest with this, but you remember that game where Grady Jarrett got the last sack on Tom Brady? The game-winning sack on there, and they called it a pass, roughing the passer. Did you think that was a roughing the passer, or you think y'all got a break on that? I would love to hear your thoughts, because that game was clearly over with that sack. So, do you think that the Atlanta Falcons got screwed in that, or did they make the right call? So, if that's the case, what's there to be proud of? So now you said it was a bad break, and the Atlanta Falcons got screwed, but you bragging over the fact that y'all won. Never mind. I don't want one dude said it was the right call. At least we got one honest Bucs fan in here. Tom Brady said he didn't think that was the right call, but I don't care. Tom Brady's the golden cheetah. So we got 2 Bucs guys. We got one of them that's a complete liar because he lying to himself. And then we got one honest Bucs raised, but he's always over here chatting with us. So Bucs for life. I would love to see you at some point during the season, and not when y'all win. I want to see your punk ass over here. So don't disappear. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're a content creator, I will go over and I'll subscribe to your channel as well. But bring your punk ass over here too. Okay? Bring your punk ass back. Because I guarantee you gonna damn disappear when everything is going bad. Because what we gonna do? We even have y'all on the show. We open it up. During the season, we open it up. So I want to see all y'all Bucs fans that claim that y'all are Bucs for life. I want y'all to explain the shit that we gonna see this year. Because we gonna be here. We here 24/7. 7 days a week. You gonna see something at Atlanta Falcons Nation. This is what we do. We don't go nowhere. We don't hide from no motherfucker. I can't speak for no other content creator that's Falcons, but Atlanta Falcons Nation, Unholy Alliance, Mad Mike Sports, we here all the time, 7 days a week. We don't run. Thank you, sir. You man of your word, I promise you. Said we're here. And you want to come on the show and speak your piece, you'll be able to do that when we open it up. King, that's what I'm saying. Whether we win or lose, we're going to be honest about it. And no football fan that saw that damn sack on Tom Brady would say that was the right call, because you absolute full of shit if you said that was the right call. That was the weakest shit I've ever seen in my life. But I expect that from Tom Brady. Nah, the Bucs don't need respect. What's there to respect when you bought both of your championships? Y'all screwed over Tony Dungy. Y'all screwed him over. He built that team. He built the offense. And you screwed him over by bringing in John Gruden. That backfired because guess what happened? He wasn't what y'all thought he was. And then you see that COVID-ass goddamn championship. You bought Tom Brady. Again, you bought Tom Brady. You bought Tom Brady from another organization because they wanted to move on from all of the controversy, and you bought him. Tom Brady didn't even think twice. He went straight there. Y'all gave him everything that he wanted. Y'all gave him total power of the offense, the coaches, the offensive coordinators, the players that could come in. Y'all gave him total power over there. Say it ain't true. Say this ain't true that Tom Brady didn't have a say over everything. And guess what happened? Y'all head coach, what was the head coach at the time? God damn it. I don't want to say Brian Billick. Coach he was the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. It wasn't Arizona Cardinals. He coached with the Bruce Arians. That's who it is. But he didn't want any power. He didn't want anything to do with Tom Brady, but he did it for the organization. That's what coaches, real coaches and players, are supposed to do. I don't know why. Every time I think it, I always want to say Brian Billick. I don't know why. Every time I see him, I want to say Brian Billick. But nonetheless, he didn't really want anything to do with Tom Brady. But he did it for the organization. They end up winning the Super Bowl for it. But y'all screwed over Tony Dungy. That backfired on you. And then you bought a championship. That man that motherfucker Tom Brady had his own quarterback coach, halfback coach, running back coach, offensive coordinator, players, tight ends, offensive linemen, running backs. That man had total say over that damn team. That man Tony Dungy built that team, and they said, "Nah, we ain't going nowhere with y'all. You got to go." And then went to Indianapolis and built the damn near the same damn team. He built them the same damn defense over there and won him a championship. They tried to blame it all on Tony Dungy like it was all his fault. Y'all were losing. Y'all couldn't get over the hump. That motherfucker brought in by 12 players, Tom Brady is, and you got the nerve to sit up here and tell us about 28-3? Boy, please. Motherfucker, please. Look, y'all can have all that goddamn pity ass. Y'all can have all these bought championships. I don't want no bought championship. I want my team to go through the ups and the downs to get where they can go. So if I gotta kiss somebody's ass like a Tom Brady or any coach, please. Nah, I would much rather struggle, go through the grind, and do it with the players that we have than sit up here and have a Tom Brady take over completely take over a team and get us a goddamn COVID. Because during that year, there was a lot of players that sat out during COVID. That's another thing that we won't talk about. Falcons blew out the Bucs in 16, but y'all talking about it. That's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Y'all get happy when other teams whip our ass, but when it's one-on-one, and we whipped y'all ass, but y'all win the NFC South by default by records in the NFC. Because that's why you won, is because our records in the NFC. If we would have taken care of business in the NFC, you wouldn't even be a playoff team. And who knows what the Atlanta Falcons would have done in the playoffs, because we beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and we could have, and that was a damn good game. Controversial play at the end with Pitts, but we lost to the Chiefs. We gave the Chiefs hell, the 2 Super Bowl contenders. But nobody want to give the Falcon credit for going up there and whipping. We whipped their motherfucking ass. We whipped the Philadelphia Eagles ass. But you want to sit up here and talk about, oh, we won the NFC South. Yep, we almost got Bill Belichick, but guess what happened? We didn't. That's what teams do. They think about things. In order to be great, you got to at least hear a guy out. The Falcons heard Harbaugh out. We hired Harbaugh, Bill Belichick. So we listen to everybody. The Falcons didn't allow Bill Belichick to deal what Tom Brady did to them. The Falcons said, nah, we're not going to let you come in here and be a dictator over our organization. Unlike the Bucs, y'all bent over backwards. Y'all took every item of y'all clothes off for Tom Brady. Y'all bent over and took it for Tom Brady. My personal opinion is Baker Mayfield is only decent because the division sucks. Once it becomes a competitive, he'll be exposed and getting credit for that far. I mean, he's a good quarterback. I'm not gonna say he's a great or an elite quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. And I think he's always been that. But like the thing with Baker, he's just so inconsistent. You can never count on him, because he has a lot of bad habits. And now those bad habits have cost him in college, and it's cost him in the NFL. He's just too reckless with it. And, at times that's a good thing. At times that could be a good thing for the quarterback, but like for the most part, it has cost him big time. I mean, that's why he got, ultimately, it pretty much went to the Bucs. Cleveland wanted no parts of him because he's just too streaky of a player. I would never want him as my quarterback. Like, he's just too reckless. But that's And let's be real. Have the Bucs ever developed any damn player on offensively or quarterback? Have they, outside of Mike Evans, have they really developed anybody? All their players have been rental players. All their quarterbacks have been rental players. I mean, I'll give them credit for Winston. But guess what happened to that? That motherfucker 30 for 30. Nah, I'm talking about quarterbacks. Nah, y'all have never developed a quarterback well. I mean, I'll give you Winston. That man said 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 45. Yeah, we're talking about consistency. I'm not talking about him having one good year, because we've seen multiple quarterbacks have had a good year. But Baker Mayfield, for the most part, his inconsistencies is the reason why a lot of times you can't make it past. That's been the story of his career. He has a good year and he falls off. It's a lot of bad habits. Josh Freeman was not good, sir. You better stop that. This man said Josh Freeman. We not doing that, okay? If Josh Freeman was good, so was goddamn if Josh Freeman was a good quarterback there, and he was a guy that you can develop and show what Joey Harrington was. That man said Josh Freeman. Good God Almighty. That man said, no, you got rid of Jameis Winston because he fucking sucked. And because no damn Tom Brady. Was that a contributing factor? Yeah, but if Jameis Winston was a good quarterback, you wouldn't have to go and get a Tom Brady. This man said Josh Freeman. Good God Almighty. Josh Freeman, y'all. This man said Josh Freeman. Good God Almighty. Woo, Lord have mercy. Y'all do not develop quarterbacks, and y'all have never developed quarterbacks well at all. Y'all are a renter center ass organization. And let's just be real about that. Man, Steve Young was a fucking bust. That's why he left, goddammit. We say develop. Steve Young became a Hall of Famer when he left y'all ass. Y'all didn't develop him. No, that's not what I said. Don't put, because your ass can't hear. Don't say that's what I said. I said you have never developed quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has never developed any quarterbacks. They rent quarterbacks. And when quarterbacks leave, they play better. See, now they trying to redefine what I said, y'all. I clearly said Tampa has never developed a quarterback. And yes, Bill Walsh and Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan was the quarterback coach. Not only for Denver, but the 49ers, and that's where he was developed under. You said we never develop anybody on our offense. Quarterback. Did not say quarterback. We're talking about quarterbacks. Okay? I know they have developed Mike Evans. I know they've developed Godwin. I know that they've developed quite a few players. Warwick Dunn, Mike Allstott. Okay? Get out your little pussy ass feelings and listen. Now they get mad because they organization trash. Don't get mad at me because your quarterback's ass, okay? If you can't hear, if you can't comprehend, if I misspoke, hear me now. You have never developed any quarterback. You are a renter-centered ad organization. You rent quarterbacks. Lord Jesus. Somebody else bring up this dude. Y'all, there's cyanide or something in that water down there in Tampa. Cause these Negroes, you can't be this stupid. These motherfuckers sniffing and drinking cyanide or piss or something. It's called reading the comments, sir. It's called reading comments. That's what. It's for us. This is for us seeing how stupid these two is. Y'all can't be the smartest people in Bookland. Okay? We actually know football. We probably know your organization better than you. I don't know what the hell. No, it is something wrong with that. He said, I'll give you that. Ain't nothing wrong with a team. He said, I'll give you that. We have never developed quarterbacks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Teams across the league go that route. No, they don't. They only do that shit because they looking for another. But this has been y'all history. Y'all been stealing other teams' quarterbacks for y'all. This shit is hilarious, boy. Y'all been stealing other teams' quarterback, calling them your quarterback for years. All right, y'all. I'm about to cut this down. This has been fun. Yeah, Judd, I ain't even trying to read that shit. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Oh, that's funny. I mean, I can't really say that the Saints didn't develop Drew Brees because, was it 2 years? I think he spent 2 years. I could be wrong on that, but I think he spent 2 years with the Chargers. And then he went to the Saints. So three years. Okay. He spent 3 years. He spent 3 years there. I believe he ended up supposed to sign a contract with the Dolphins, and then he went to the Saints. But I can't say that the Saints didn't develop Drew Brees because he wasn't a great quarterback until he went to Saints. So I can't say that. But nonetheless, let's just say the Saints ain't. But I don't give a fuck about no Saints. We talking about the Bucs right now. Y'all still ain't developed shit. Okay? Stop. Like now y'all trying to talk about everybody else. I don't give a damn about no Saints. I don't give a damn about nobody else. We talking about y'all ass right now. Y'all ain't developed shit. Look, it got to be something, gators or something in that water. It's something in that water. But hey, man, like I said, all good fun. If your ass is soft and you get in your feelings, don't bring your ass over here. Atlanta Falcons Nation is not the one for you. Do not subscribe. Do not hit like button. Do not hit that comment section if you can't take what we do over here. It's all in good fun. It's all in debate. And if you enjoyed what we did today, hit that subscribe button. We will have more shows where we open it up and everybody can have and speak their piece. But until then, we got a show tonight, 9 o'clock. The end games with one drill. We may or may not open it up, just depending how you feel. We got Coach Unchained coming also. If you did not see Six Man K-Style show, that was a good damn show. Shout out to everybody that showed up on the show and spoke their piece. And like I said, man, don't get in your feelings, bro. Okay? Don't be pissing dirty. Okay? Don't be pissing dirty. Don't get mad because you can't hold your own or somebody gets the best of you. Get out your fucking feelings, okay? We got too many pissing dirties in here that because they can't hold their own and in conversation, you want to say grown men are jumping each other and grown men can't have a debate and grown men are jumping each other online. Oh, it's 4-on-1. You guys are wrong for... No, it's called a round table. We're not going to change how we do because you too pussified. It has always been me, Six Man, K-Styles, one on our shows. And when you come in, you're going to have a conversation and we're going to ask you questions. And if you're too soft and you're too fucking stupid to be able to deal with that, then this channel, don't waste your time. I am not here to be your fucking friend and try to make you feel better and to rub your damn tummy, okay? Say that shit for somebody who cares. But over here, we all about fun. We all about debate, and that's the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. Don't come over here if you're gonna get in your feelings. Don't come over here if you're gonna be all that, that backdoor talking and politicking. Say it to us. We're here. But if you're gonna get in your feelings, stay your ass home and let your mama, your daddy, or your girlfriend or your husband or whatever rub your ass. We not gonna do that. We about debate, and I respect anybody that, like I said, Bucks for life, appreciate you, brother. Buck Rays, appreciate you, brother, for coming over, just debating. And that's all I gotta say about that. I'm gone, man.